Welcome to Quick News for June 11th through the 17th of 2016. These are news stories you probably haven't heard in 10 minutes or less. Boy, have I got some great stories for you this week. Strap yourselves in, friends. It's going to be a bumpy ride. First up, the FDA has approved a stomach pump apparatus as a weight loss device because diet and exercise is just too much trouble. The external pump dumps part of the stomach contents into the toilet. Critics have called it assisted bulimia, but the FDA considers it minimally invasive, and clinical trials have shown that patients lose an average of 46 pounds during the first year. So this apparatus is recommended for severely obese people, not just overweight people. But here's the thing. Diet and exercise works 100% of the time. If you weigh 600 plus pounds, I guarantee you'll lose a bunch of weight if you just change your habits. No one gets to 600 pounds by having good habits. The issue with using things like the stomach pump is that once the stomach pump is removed, you haven't formed any new habits, so you're just going to go back to your old habits. It isn't a sustainable option. The only healthy way to lose weight is to change your habits with diet and exercise. But apparently, the FDA disagrees, and lazy, obese people everywhere rejoice. Next, a new Gallup poll shows that people have less confidence in institutions like the government and the media than they have ever had before. 1,027 adults from June 1st to the 5th were surveyed via cell phones and landlines to find these results. They found that just 20% of people surveyed have confidence in newspapers and only 21% trust television. Congress ranked the lowest with just 9% saying they have a great deal of confidence in it. That's down 10 percentage points since 2006. What does this mean? Americans don't trust the institutions that affect their daily lives anymore. They don't have confidence in their schools, churches, banks, and even their elected officials. Though confidence in the economy and the job market has grown in the past 10 years, Americans remain reluctant to put their faith back into these other institutions. 2 stories about transgender issues this week. Trans people and SJWs got upset earlier this week over garlic bread. A Facebook page called Garlic Bread Memes decided to make a political statement by publishing this picture, which said, "If I had a slice of garlic bread for every existing gender," and then it shows 2 slices of garlic bread. Genius. But understanding biology will soon become a thing of the past as Disney is trying to help normalize transgenderism in their new movie Finding Dory. Ellen DeGeneres has leaked that there will be a transgender stingray in the new movie who transitions to become Sting Rhonda. I can't tell if that's glorifying transgenderism or making fun of it. I'm going to err on the side of caution here, though, and assume that it's glorifying it. My clue is the lesbian couple who are also featured in the movie. While I have no problem with lesbian couples, nor do I have a problem with them being inserted as new original characters in a movie, the minute these movies try to tell kids that being a lesbian is cool and fun and being straight is boring and sad, I take offense. Since it hasn't been proven that this movie will do that, I'll withhold judgment. But I know a lot of people who would like to see that, and a lot of people who believe it to be true. To me, it's all just clues of the social warfare going on against traditionalism. Finally, a Hillary supporting website is now selling t-shirts featuring Donald Trump's severed head. You heard me right. For $27.68, you can get your very own t-shirt portraying Clinton holding Donald Trump's severed head. The shop also sells a plethora of tuck frump items. So creative. There is some speculation that the shirts will get pulled since they do promote violence against a presidential candidate and public figure, but for now, it's still available. The shirt is supposed to be a play on the story of Judith and Holofernes in the book of Judith. Long story short, Holofernes was an Assyrian general who was about to destroy Judith, a Hebrew widow's home. Judith is allowed into his tent because he thinks she's beautiful. When he gets drunk and passes out, she beheads him and a servant carries his head away in a basket. Now, the t-shirt website is claiming that the story went a little differently. Do you know the story of Judith and Holofernes? Judith was a rad Jewish woman and Holofernes was a Roman general who wanted to totally rape her. She was Cool, Holofernes. I will just come to your tent and attend to your boner, no problem. Awesome Jewish chick coming at ya. And then she cut off his head. Isn't that like a good story? But the book of Judith says that Judith beheaded him to save her home city, not because he was trying to rape her. Judith dresses up for him to try and get him alone with her. He even tells her he won't harm her. He offers her food and wine, which she declines. He gives her a separate tent to sleep in. A few days pass, and then he invites her to his tent again. Now, he does admit that he wants to have sex with her, and he plans to seduce her with food and drink. He's not a great guy. He's not a Roman either. But he doesn't rape her. They eat and drink together. He gets really drunk. And the rest is history. Why does this bother me? Because anytime I see someone mistelling a story from scripture in order to suit their own needs, I can practically see God wincing. Now, I tend to stay away from the Old Testament, but Protestants, of which I am one, have accepted the book of Judith as a book of possible parables, but definitely not a book of true events. I feel that the parables are the most important parts of the New Testament, and, although not in the New Testament, since Judith is parables too, I'll defend it. Parables are life lessons. They teach us how to live our lives. I would assume, and I'm just a layman, that this story of Judith beheading Holofernes is teaching us to stand up for ourselves in our communities and not allow others to walk all over us. Whoa, I just saw a parallel with a whole other event going on. But that's a story for another time. Well, that's it for Quick News this week. If you have a story you think I should do in this segment, tweet it at me with the hashtag #QuickNews. And be sure to follow me on Twitter for news, insight, and general lulls. Click that red button to subscribe and join the skeptical family where we put logic and reason above feelings and emotion. Thanks for watching.